So I have already our next guest here, our next speaker sitting next to me. And I'm very happy to introduce you to Helene Steinberg.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Well, you're used to traveling, I think.
Yes.
You actually have been traveling for 4 years through Europe. And the first time I got an understanding of what you are doing is when I was actually sitting in a train and there was a person coming into the train wearing a very specific outfit, something like you're wearing now, actually. And he had a beautiful branch over his shoulder. And I had so many questions. I just didn't know what was going on. And so I'm very happy that you're here because it was also quite a challenge to find someone who could actually explain what's happening. You're actually revived a very ancient old tradition in Europe. You've been on the waltz. You're a journeyman. You were a journeyman. And this is a phenomenon that's quite common in Germany and in some Germanic countries around. But I had never seen anything like that. So I'd love to hear more about what is the waltz, and can you elaborate more on the codes of conduct that belong to the waltz? I also heard, for instance, that you cannot have a cell phone, or there is certain colors saying certain things about your guild. Please explain us a bit more, Helen.
Yes, exactly. Well, in the Middle Ages, the guilds decided that young journeymen had to leave their hometowns. Um, yeah, to travel at least 3 years and a day to learn more about their crafts in other countries and also other towns. And then they were allowed to come back to get their master crafts profession. And there's still the tradition still alive, but now it's not obligatory anymore to become a master. But there are still around 40 different crafts in Germany or in the German-speaking countries who are able to do the waltz. And yeah, there's some rules that are still alive or that are still important, like having no cell phone. It's not allowed. It's also not allowed to pay for accommodation or transport. It's not allowed to go home during this journey trip. Yeah. And you have to travel and you have to work in your craft to learn more about it. Yeah. And at the very first beginning, we see on the photo my very first day on this journey. And you get an older journeyman who's doing that for a year or something, who is your mentor at the very first beginning and who explain you how to hitchhike, how to communicate to the people, how to find a place for the night. Yeah. Yeah. And there are also different colors on the clothes. Like I am wearing red because I'm working with textile and leather on paint. But as you see on the photo, there are also different other colors. So the people who are working with metal, they wear blue clothes, and the people like carpenter or boat builder who work with wood, they are wearing black clothes. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I have still so many questions. Where do you sleep then? How do you get your food?
Well, I have my sleeping bag and my little luggage, and I have it in this cloth you see on the photo, maybe. Um, so I have my sleeping bag there inside, and then yeah, try to find a place to sleep. Sometimes I'm sitting in a bar and there's a nice guy who asks me, do you sleep this night? And I can say, maybe on your sofa. But yeah, there are also nights where I really don't know where to stay. But there will be always a rooftop and a shelter.
Wow, it sounds wild. We would love to see some images. You have a presentation prepared, but I'm not sure if the presentation is on the screen. I think now it is. Yeah. Please talk us through the images. We're very excited to hear more.
Yeah, here you see the typical luggage from the Wandergesellen or from the journeyman on a parking site. You see the jackets over our little luggage, and the cloths are called Charlie or Charlottenburger. Um, yeah, and there were days there were the most hygienic way to pack your luggage and not to spread some illnesses. Yeah, and there you see me on a rooftop with another carpenter I traveled a lot with, or I yeah, tried to create a bathroom and then yeah, in another way maybe. Yeah, and so you're traveling, you try to work especially in your own craft. Like I'm an interior decorator. I really try to find work in a upholsterer company, but there are also other construction side where I can learn more about crafts in general. Yeah.
And so I've seen a lot of men doing this.
Yeah.
If I spot one, it's 9 of the 10 times it's a man.
Yeah.
Actually, I've never seen a female person on the vaults myself. Can you elaborate a bit? How is that? Is that a realistic thing to say? Is it more like
Yeah.
a male thing to do, or and how was it
It's-
for you as a female to do this?
It's really male dominated thing, the waltz. I think there are two different points you have to know. On one hand, you have the different clubs in which you can travel. Like on the next photo, you see the left guy with a red tie. It's another club than me. I have this gray tie. And in most of the clubs, it's just allowed for men to travel there. And on the other hand, the crafts who can do this journey, they are also male dominated. So there are not that much girls or women doing this journey. I think that's are the most important points.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like the girl on the photo, she's a hat maker. And the man in the middle with the blue clothes, he's a smith, a blacksmith. And yeah, so sometimes you have this professional or craft depending äh, mir fehlt das Wort. Ja, much more males on the street than
Yeah.
girls, yeah.
So, if you could list all of the codes and conduct that belong to doing a waltz, what is really characteristic for the thing that you did? I mean, I also saw you, for instance, you climbed over the sign of your hometown when you got back after 4 years.
Yeah.
Are all of these elements part of this tradition? And how did you know about that?
Well, I met a journeyman who said, yeah, you can do this also as a woman. And I thought, huh? I thought just carpenter are doing this. No, also women, also upholsterer. And so I met some other journeymen who invited me on their meetings. And so I met different people asking questions, and they explained me the world of the journeyman. That was really nice. And in fact, I just have this female point of view about this journey trip. And I really met people who said, no, I will not pick you up hitchhiking because you are a woman. And other people, yeah, I will pick you up because you are a woman. So I had both. And I think it depends on your personality, how you communicate with the people, if you're smart or not, if you're open-minded maybe to the society, to your surroundings. And that will help you. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. And you have some more pictures, or
Yes.
do you want to go through them?
Yeah, maybe. For example, the two girls on the picture, we were really nice traveling trio. And as you see, the girls have their short hair and it's just me with the long hair. And we also had the situation that we run into or sit into a car next to the highway that stopped really fast. And the driver picked us up and just said, oh my goodness, I thought you're man, but now I hear you talking and you're girls and you're women. And I thought you were men because I think this is a male domestic tradition. Yeah. And I traveled through Europe and had different construction places where I worked, where I learned much more about my craft and also about other crafts, but especially about me, how to, yeah, keep with my own, stay on my own, be with my own, be, yeah, see that I can help myself and I'm also able to stay with my needs and to look for my needs.
Yeah, fantastic. Last question, Helen. So if I understand well, you were 4 years actually learning about the craft that you're doing now, which is interior decoration.
Exactly.
Did you become very skilled during your 4 years, or what was actually the element that you were able to take from this journey? Was it really the skills of being an interior decorator?
I thought it would be the skills, but no, actually, I'm much better in communication to people. And that's maybe one of the most important things. You have to talk to the people, where to stay, where to work, where's the best pizza in town, maybe. And on the other hand, you have the reliability of the journeyman. And that's maybe the other important point for the journeyman. If I want to meet someone in October, maybe on the 10th in Bad Wildbad, then I have to be there because we don't have cell phones. So I really know that now to be there in October, the 10th. And that's really important to communicate to the people and the reliability. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there one last message you have to the people watching?
Be kind to each other. I mean, the journey trip is a really egoistic way to live, maybe because it's on me to call my parents, to call my grandma or someone else. On the other hand, we have a really, really strong community and we really help us through all ups and downs. And that's really necessary to talk to each other, to listen to each other, to feel what do I need right now to feel better and to communicate. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're
for
welcome.
these insights. Now I think we all know a little bit more what to expect when we see someone wearing this wonderful uniform on the
And you
streets.
should always ask them, do you need something? Do you need a laundry or something to, a place for the night or something? You really should ask them and they will
Yeah.
say what they need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Yeah.
That brings us to our